Hey, good morning, everybody. So I'm putting the playlist in the chat and please make sure that you hit OK for recording. Good morning, I'm Kayla. If you haven't practiced with me before, welcome. Just take a moment really fast. If you don't have a block or something that can be used as a block near you, go ahead and grab it because you're probably going to want it later. Kristen, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay? Fabulous, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna start kneeling if that's comfortable for you. You can start seated if kneeling isn't comfortable for you, but yeah, you definitely want to block. You can start your music now if you'd like. Perfect, okay. So just getting yourself settled, letting your shoulders relax. Maybe closing your eyes. Just taking a moment to kind of see how you're feeling, not just physically, but also energetically, emotionally. I know for some of you it's later in the day. Here it's just still morning, so I haven't had a lot to happen to kind of change my emotion, but maybe you've had a stressful morning. I'm just taking a couple more long breaths here, finding any spaces in your body that maybe need a little bit of extra love today. Just remind yourself that they exist. Starting to lengthen your breath out a little bit if you haven't already. Really fully breathing down all the way down to your belly. Exhaling out completely. Just a few more like that, really deeply. Maybe even exhaling out through the mouth. And then just settling in a nice, smooth, even inhale and exhale. Settling here, maybe taking a moment to bring your hands to your heart center. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can. And then on your next inhale, just reach your arms up over your head. Create some length for your spine. As you exhale, we're just going to twist over towards the left side just for a moment. And then back up through center. Nice long deep breath. Exhaling over to the other side. And then coming back up through center. Nice long full deep breath. And as you exhale, just find your way to a child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide, sinking yourself back, seeing how it feels. Maybe rocking around a bit. So hopefully you cannot hear my neighbor's dog barking. They bark all day, all night. When it feels good for you, just coming up onto your fingertips, lift your chest a little bit. We're gonna walk our hands over towards the left side and sink yourself down. Maybe walking your right fingertips out a little bit. We're gonna be doing a lot with kind of side bending and twisting today. On your next in breath, moving back through center and all the way over to the other side. Sinking yourself down, just like before, reaching your left fingertips out as far as you can, maybe pressing into the right hand, create that stretch. And we're coming back through center. Bringing yourself up to all fours. We'll just start to move through cat and cow. So chest forward, tailbone up, nice long full breath as you exhale. Drawing in through the belly, rounding your back. And we'll just keep that going. So move with your breath, long breath in as you come forward. Exhaling out. And you can make it dramatic if you want by rolling your shoulders or maybe sinking your hips back slightly as you exhale. Just finding what feels really good for you. And then when you're ready for it, we're going to change it a little bit. So you can stay with that traditional cat and cow, or taking your hands just a little bit further forward. The next time that you come through cow pose, leaning forward a little bit and letting your heels come up towards your bum. And then as you go back towards cat, pressing into your feet and letting your knees cover. So just moving through that version a few times, creating a little bit of heat through those core muscles, not just in the front, but also in the back. And we'll just do that a few more times. Sticking with that traditional cat and cow if it feels better. One more time in each direction. And then finding your way back through center, drawing your belly in. We're going to move to a downward facing dog, but before we get straight into it, I want you to keep the tops of your feet on the ground and just lift up a little bit. Maybe you can come really high, almost all the way up towards downward facing if the fronts of your ankles are really flexible. And then just settle yourself into that down dog. Pedaling your legs, shifting your hips around. One or two more long breaths here, sinking your hips up, your chest back. And then as you're ready for it, looking forward, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Take them a little bit wide when you get there, grab opposite elbows, just take a moment to hang, shake everything out. Maybe remind yourself of your intention if you set one. And then as you're ready for it, releasing your arms, roll yourself up to standing. Inhaling, arms all the way up over your head. Exhaling to your heart center for a moment. And then inhale, reach back up, find length. As you exhale, come into your fold all the way down. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Now I want your arms to be kind of light, so your belly is drawing in. As you exhale, fold down. Left foot's going to step back. Draw the knee down, reach your arms up, kneeling lunge. Nice long deep breath. And then as you exhale, hands back down, step yourself back to a plank, come down onto the knees. You can skip completely if you prefer, elbows hugging, lower down. Inhale to lift your chest. Exhale back down and press through all first, and then to downward facing, drawing your belly in. On your inhale, left leg's gonna lift, take it high. Exhale, looking forward, step your foot all the way up, kneeling lunge, back knee down, reach your arms. Opening up through the front of your body. Exhaling your hands down, tuck your back toes, lift your knee, we'll shift back, and then step forward to the top of your mat. Coming into a halfway lift. Exhale, folding. Inhale, roll all the way up, reach. Exhale, straight back down. Taking that halfway lift. Exhaling to fold, step back with your right foot, bringing the knee down, kneeling lunge, deep breath. See if you can sink a little bit deeper this time. And then exhale, hands to the floor, step yourself back. So you can stick with that kneeling lunge if you'd like, or kneeling plank if you'd like. Otherwise, taking that full chaturanga, maybe up dog feels good already, maybe not. Meeting and downward facing when you're ready. Right leg will be the one to lift this time, take it up. And then step it through, kneeling lunge. Inhale your arms up. As you exhale, hands down, pick up your back knee. We'll shift back, step forward into your forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, roll yourself all the way up, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to your heart center for a moment. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, find your fold. Halfway lift, long through your spine, really draw your belly in. Exhale, fold and plant your hands. Step back vinyasa if you like, so kneeling or not. You can skip it completely or take a cat and cow. Meeting in downward facing. And then we're gonna drop down onto the knees, back to all fours. And just start with some kidney squeezes. So left hip, left shoulder squeezing, and then to the other side. So hopefully your body's feeling a little bit more warmed up now. And then find your way back through center. Draw your belly in nice and tight. Left leg's gonna reach back. Bending in your knee, draw a couple of big circles. One direction and then the other. And then coming back through center, extend that arm out. So I'm gonna have you take your right hand. It's gonna come a little bit further out to the side than you maybe would normally have it, because we're gonna extend the left arm long, and the arm's gonna go to a diagonal and the leg's gonna go to a diagonal. So you're taking the leg out to the left, the arm out to the right. So your left arm's gonna crush your body, and then we're gonna draw them in to squeeze and then lengthen back out. So a couple of times like that, squeezing it in and out. One last time. Lengthening it out. Your hand's gonna come back down and your leg is gonna come behind your opposite leg. So left leg behind the right, and you're gonna slide back, almost like coming towards a pigeon. And then we're gonna slide back up, and you're gonna bring the leg all the way around into a lizard. Sinking in, lift your chest. And we're gonna alternate between those two 4 more times. So sliding back, kick the leg around, all the way back towards that pigeon. And then drop forward into that lizard. 3 more, take it back. And forward. All the way back. And all the way forward. Last time, all the way back. All the way forward. And then tucking your back toes, lift your knee. Maybe frame your foot to start and lift all the way up into a crescent. Long, full deep breath as you exhale, twisting towards your left knee. And then we're gonna take it into a balance. So you're gonna put your weight into your left leg. Right knee's, woo, I'm already not doing well. Right knee's gonna come up and you're gonna twist to the right. And then same thing 4 more times, just sending the leg back into that revolved lunge towards the left. And then into that standing balance with a twist towards the right. Take it back up. 2 more. All the way back up. And back. We'll find that balance twist 1 more time. And then sending yourself back into your lunge with the twist. Left hand to your low back, reaching back. Find some length. And then exhale, take your hand down. Stepping back, move through a vinyasa if you like to. Meeting in down dog for a moment, and then you'll come to all fours. I'm just going to turn myself around. So this time it's going to be all right side. So starting with your right leg, coming up and out, draw a couple of circles. In one direction and then the other. And then finding your way back through center, extending your right leg out. Left hand's gonna come out wider than you normally have it. And you're gonna take your right arm and send it over to that left side. Right leg's gonna go out to a diagonal. So you're kind of in a weird shape here. And then we're gonna tuck 5 times. So knee to elbow and back out. Knee to elbow and lengthen. 3 more. Last time here. Find that length and then taking your hand down, right foot will go behind the left, sinking back almost towards a pigeon, watching out for your furniture. And then coming all the way up and around into lizard. So 4 more times like that, sending it all the way back, sliding into that pigeon, and all the way forward, lizard. Sink your hips as much as you can, lifting your chest. 3 more. 2 more. Last time here. Taking it forward, sinking in just like before, maybe framing your front foot to start, pick up your back knee, and we'll lift all the way up into a crescent, and then twist towards the right. Adjust yourself as you need to, so my foot was way too far forward. And we're gonna come into that balance. So all the way up and twisting to the left. Left knees into the chest. And all the way back. All the way up. And all the way back. 2 more times, I think. All the way up. Woo. All the way back, holding this time, right hand to your low back. Create that length. And then as you exhale, circle your arms around. Step yourself back to plank vinyasa if you like to. Meeting in downward facing. So taking a couple of breaths in your downward facing dog, maybe wiggling out. And then as you're ready for it, looking forward, step up or walk your feet to the top of your mat. We're going to come into a halfway lift long through your spine. As you exhale, folding down, bring your right hand down to the mat, bend your right leg, straighten your left, find a little bit of a twist here, this fold. And then back through center, other side. So right or left leg bends, right leg straightens. And then back through center, folding down. On your inhale, halfway lift, long through your spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, roll all the way up, reaching. Exhale, hands to your heart center. If you set an intention, bring that back into your mind. Maybe just settling back into your breath. Whew. When it feels good for you, sweeping your arms, bending your knees deep, find chair. So I want you to get strong in your chair. If you need a piece of furniture to help you through this, you can find one. We're going to take our left leg and the heel is going to kick out. So you're going to be having it tap down. And then if it feels good, you can twist towards that left side. And then we're going to slide it back behind us for a curtsy lunge and maybe twist to the other side. We're going to do that 4 more times. So you'll slide it and then all the way back around. And your standing leg is going to feel fatigued. Bring it back. 3 more times. 2 more. Last time. Drawing it all the way forward, knees gonna come up into the chest, holding here, and send it back for warrior 3. So again, holding on to something if you need to. I always like to have myself positioned by a shelf so I can grab hold of it. Back foot's gonna come down, find a lunge, nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, hands down to the floor, step back vinyasa if you like it. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Right leg's gonna lift when you get there. Nice deep breath in, taking it high. As you exhale, knees gonna come across to the opposite elbow. And we'll set it back up. And we're gonna do that 4 more times. So if you prefer to do it on your knees, you can. 3, 4. Last one. Sending it back up. Step your foot all the way forward, coming into a crescent lunge. Deep breath in. As you exhale, sink a little deeper, twisting towards the right. And then inhale all the way open. Warrior 2, holding for a moment. Whew. So see if you can press that front knee open, really engage the outside of your hip, squeeze everything in and up. Backhand to back thigh, reach to reverse, long, full, deep breath. As you exhale, come forward, extend it to the side. So taking a moment here, if you know you like to use a block, and actually, even if you know you don't like to use a block, I still want you to have your block towards the front, because we're gonna come into half moon, but we're gonna revolve it, and it's way easier to block. On your next inhale, reach it all the way back. And then this time we'll come forward into that half moon. So looking for your block and floating yourself up. So maybe you normally have your block out wide. I want you to take it to center. Find your balance here because we're going to close our hand down and we're going to move into a revolved half moon. So maybe your top arm can lift up, maybe not. And then we're going to open back up. So 2 blocks actually is really handy here, but if you only have the one, you just have to slowly move it to center, to revolve. And then you'll slowly, slowly open back up. This is really, really good for building strength in your outer hip. I think we got one more. We're gonna hold in that revolved half moon, and then we're gonna take our back foot down. Settle yourself down into a revolved kneeling lunge. Relax here, you can let your knee drop out so that it's more of like a revolved lizard. Back knee can sink down, and if it feels good, maybe you want to reach back for your foot and give yourself a quad stretch. Long, full, deep breath. As you exhale, releasing your hand forward, we're going to pick up our back knee, shift back slightly, and then step forward into the fold. Coming for a halfway lift, long through your spine. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees deep, sweep your arms, come to chair. Whew. So I'm going to turn around. We're going to do the whole thing again on the other side, and then depending on time, you might do it again. So what it feels good for you. Right heel is going to step out, and maybe you want to twist to the right. And then it's going to slide around to a curtsy, twisting. And then we'll revolve again, back to the front. And then around for a curtsy lunge. So try to keep that bend in your front leg, feeling the fatigue. We've got 2 more. I might have actually done 6, but that's okay. And then as you come around to the front this time, lifting that knee up, finding your knee to chest. We'll send the leg back, warrior 3. Tapping your back toes down, coming into your crescent. Woo! And then hands to the floor. Step yourself back. Vinyasa if you like it. Whatever version feels good, meeting in downward facing. Couple of long breaths here. Shake your head out, wiggle your hips. Left leg's gonna be the one to lift this time. Take it high. And just like on the other side, knees gonna come across, maybe tap. All the way back up. Cross and back up. Couple more times. Twice more. Last time. And then step your foot all the way up. Setting yourself up, reach your arms. As you exhale, sink down, twist to the left. Long, full, deep breath, and unwind all the way, holding yourself in your warrior 2. Set it up. So sink down. Maybe you can press your knee out to get the glutes engaged. Open up wide for your pelvis. Woo. Gotta adjust my bra. Holding here. When it feels good, back hand to back thigh, find your reverse. And then we'll sink it forward. Extend the side. Just like before, if you need to adjust to your block is in front of you, take it there. And then inhale all the way back. And we'll find our half moon. So hand down to your block and finding where you find balance. So sometimes when I do these revolved sets, I actually use a stool, so I'm a little bit higher up. So really find where it's comfortable for you. And then 5 times we're gonna revolve it. So turning down, switching your hand on the block. Maybe you can reach your left arm up and then close back up. And feel that outer hip, woo, working. Closing down, revolved, and back up. Opening, close it down, and back up. We've got 2 more. My heat has just kicked on directly above me, so I'm dying. Last time. Closing it down, long deep breath, and then our toes are gonna come down at the back of our mat. Drop your back knee, coming into that revolved kneeling lunge, maybe letting your knee drop out or your back foot can come in. Maybe you can grab from your foot, giving yourself a quad stretch. And then taking it back around. Picking up your back knee, we'll rock back and step to the top of our mat. Take your feet a little bit wide, grab opposite elbows and hang here for a moment. I believe we have time to do all of that a second time. On both sides. So take a few breaths. And then as you inhale, roll yourself up nice and slow. All the way to the top. And then exhale, sink down into chair. Draw your belly in tight. All the weight is going to go over to your right leg, left heel is going to tap out. You can twist to the left if you want to add that little bit. And we'll slide the leg around, curtsy. And then back. Take it around. And then forward. 3 more. 2 more. Last time. And then draw that knee up into your chest. Send it back, find warrior 3. And then tap your back foot down, press it for a moment. Nice deep inhale. As you exhale, hands down, step back. Move through a vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing. Take a couple of breaths there. Right leg's gonna lift up, take it high. Just like before, you can come to your knees if you want. We'll take the knee across towards the opposite elbow and back up. 4 more times. And 3, 2, and 1. And then step your foot all the way forward. Coming up into your crescent. Exhale, find a twist towards the right. And then inhale, open all the way up into your warrior 2. So set yourself up. See if you can sink a little bit deeper this time. You know you don't have to hold it a long time. Squeeze out, lengthen through your spine. Whew. Find a reverse. And then take it forward, extended side. Adjust your block while you're here if you need to. We'll come back, reverse. And then looking for your block. Shift yourself forward into half moon. So you don't have to have your arm extended at any time if it feels more comfortable not to. We're gonna revolve 5 times. So close it down. Maybe the opposite arm lifts, maybe not. And then back through center. You can keep both hands on the ground and just move the hips if it feels good. 4 more. Back through center. 3 more. Hopefully feeling fatigue on the outer hip. 2 more. Last time opening. Keeping that twist, dropping your back foot down. Back knee can drop down. Find that revolved kneeling lunge. Maybe your back foot can come in and you can find it for a twist. Maybe this time press your foot to your hand and create a little bit more opening to the chest rather than more quad stretch. And then releasing the foot if you have it, taking both arms forward, tuck your back toes. We'll just shift back and step forward into a fold. Hanging here for a moment. On your next in breath, come up halfway, right length. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sweep your arms. Coming into your chair. Right heel is going to press out. Maybe find your twist to your right. 5 times we'll find that twist of bringing it around to a curtsy. And then back forward. So that's 1, 4 more. 2, 3, 4. Last time, taking it to the curtsy, and then draw your knee up into your chest. Set your leg back. Warrior 3. You're on mute, so sing along to Avril if you are on her song now. Back foot's gonna come down, find a nice deep breath. And then exhale, plant your hands. Step back, vinyasa if you like. Meeting in downward facing. Woo. When you're ready for it. Left leg will lift, just like before, 5 times across the body. You can come to the knees if it feels better. Tap, and then send it back up. 4, 3, 2. Last time. And then step it all the way forward. Lifting up into your crescent, find a twist. And then we'll unwind all the way. Opening up, warrior 2. Find a moment to really set yourself up here. Back hand to back thigh, find reverse. As you exhale, forward for extended side. Adjust your block if you need to. Ooh, find a reverse warrior again. Nice and long for your side body. And then looking for the floor, shift forward, half moon. So 5 times, taking that revolved half moon. Last time doing it. Set yourself up for success. Use both hands if you need to, or don't use your hands at all. Open back up. 4 more. Open back up. 3. Hello, puppy. Ooh, a little down dog. A little up dog. Last time here. Back toes are going to tap down. Sink yourself into your revolved kneeling lunge. Back foot can come into your booty if it feels good. When it feels good, drawing yourself back around. Back knee's gonna lift. Shift yourself back, find a fold at the top of your mat. Feet nice and wide, relax into it. Give yourself a little pat on the back while you're here, because that was hard. Just like we did before, taking your right hand down to the ground, bending your right knee, straighten your left. Find a little twist here. Ooh. On your exhale, come back through center, we'll do the other side. Noticing if one side feels a little different than the other. So my left IT band is super tight. So when I go on the left side, it's really intense. Coming back through center. Heel toe your feet out nice and wide. You can sink your hips down into a Malasana. You're allowed to take the block and pop it underneath your hips if you want a little bit more of a restorative version of this. Slowing your breath back down. Maybe a couple of big exhales out through your mouth. And then however you need to get there from here, we're just going to find ourselves to a seat. Hi, puppy. Soles of the feet together, knees out. Okay, so holding on to your ankles, and you can take your feet as far from you as you like. We're just gonna kind of cat and cow here. So just kind of pulling on your ankles to bring your chest forward and then exhaling to round. And just keep that going a few times. Oh, Amos is mad. I'm not playing with it right now. One more time, really opening up through your chest. And then as you exhale to round this time, just find yourself over your legs. Nice and relaxed here. I like to use my arms to kind of support my head because sometimes it's really intense for my upper back to let my head hang. So find it where it's comfortable and just breathe. Put it. On your next in breath, coming back up nice and long. You stay facing the wherever you're facing. I'm just going to turn towards you. We're going to take our right leg out long. Left sole of the foot to the inside of the right thigh. Take a moment to really move your flesh out from your hip, from your hip crease in the front is what I was going for. But first, from your sitting bones, turn yourself towards your straight leg and find a fold. So try not to get too wrapped up in trying to get for your foot and like really reach. You can relax into this. If your belly touches your thigh, you can kind of soften forward. You can even let your head drop. Softening down. So staying here if this feels really good for you, or if you want to, we're going to come up just part way, draw your belly in. Left hand is going to come across towards the outside of your right leg, wherever it reaches. And then just draw yourself over. Amos, you got to get out of here. Go. So you're kind of getting a side stretch. You can find yourself a little bit further down if it feels good. As it feels good, draw yourself back up through center. We're just going to slide our right leg out a little bit more. So you can slide it forward, or you can draw your left leg in. And then we're going to turn towards our left knee, create some length. Use your right hand to grab hold of your left knee, and the left arm is going to reach. We'll find a little bit of a side stretch here. And then when you're ready for it, coming back up, left hand's going to come behind you. Right arm's going to come up through center. You're going to press into your left hand, roll into your left shin, and open up. Full breath here. As you exhale, sink your hips back down and just bring yourself in the center of both of your legs. And then we'll come back up through center, adjusting for the other side. So it's going to be your left leg out, right foot in, grab all of your flesh, move it out of all of your creases, and sink over your leg. So funny story about Hey Monday, I'd never heard of them before. And I'd never heard of Cassidy Pope. And they were on the, Cassidy Pope was on the Emo's Not Dead cruise. She's like transitioning from Hey Monday to being like a country singer back into like emo music. And I went with my friend who's like her biggest fan and like took a picture of it with her, but like barely even spoke to her, and then saw her perform, and she is so good. Like so good. And I was very, very drunk and followed her off stage to tell her how good she was, which is absolutely mortifying, and to apologize to her that I didn't know who she was. And it would have been the most embarrassing thing that anybody did on the cruise involving Cassidy Pope, but my friend is so obsessed that he like lost his mind every time he saw her. And I think she was a little bit weary of him because he was so obsessed. When it feels good, coming up part way, just like before, we're gonna slide ourselves over with our chest. Right arm can come outside of that left leg. My dog is in the way, I think, I'm sorry. And just sink down. Amos, go on. Go on. Amos. Thank you. One more long full breath here. And then drawing yourself back up. We're gonna slide the left leg out just a little bit more, finding yourself towards your right leg, right hand, or left hand across towards your right leg. And then we'll extend up with the right arm, finding that big side bend. One or two more long breaths here. Maybe you can just release a little bit more. And then using your left hand to draw you up, right hand's gonna come behind you. Left hand will come up through center, roll onto your right shin, create that big opening. And then sinking your hips back down, turning yourself towards the center and just relax forward for a moment. Amos, go on. Go on. Get. And drawing yourself back up. Just closing yourself up. Scooting closer towards the front of your mat, give yourself a hug, maybe your head can drop, rounding a little bit. And then if it feels all right, we're gonna find a little bit of length, reach your arms forward and very, very slowly draw yourself down onto your back. Try not to let your feet lift. And then when you get down there, scoot your heels in just a little bit, move your hair if you need to. Arms by your sides, lift your hips up, find yourself into a bridge for a moment. And rather than like actually having your knees touch, just energetically squeeze them towards each other as you squeeze your glutes. Draw your belly in, maybe you can roll your chest up a little bit more. And then as you exhale, rolling it down. Hips are gonna stay down on the floor, but you're gonna roll so that your middle of your back is lifted, so you can stick your hand underneath if you needed to. Ribs are lifted up and flared out. And then press it back down, squeezing your belly. And just alternate between those two places. Amos, get going. Just giving a little massage on your lower back. And then as you're ready for it, drawing it in, left knee will come into your chest, give a squeeze, right leg can extend out long if you like. And so we're actually not going to do any recline twists today because we did a million twists already. If it feels okay for you, just draw your knee out towards your armpit a little bit, and then maybe grab for your foot or your ankle. We're just gonna come into a half happy baby. So you can bend your right leg if you need to. And just create that opening in the front of your pelvis. Try not to round yourself off the ground. So just bend the leg a little bit more, hold lower on your ankle if you need. And then releasing that leg, draw both knees back into your chest for a moment. Maybe rock forward and back slightly. And then we'll move to the other side. So starting out, putting the left foot down, right knee into your chest. You can extend the leg long if it feels good. Really squeezing and compressing the front of your hip. Letting your low back be long and press down into the floor. Just like before, if it feels good, drawing the knee out towards your underarm. And then maybe if you'd like, you can just grab your ankle or the sole of your foot coming into that half happy baby. Trying to keep your low back down, your shoulders relaxed. On your next exhale, go ahead and release. So draw both knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. If it feels good, again, you can rock. Maybe take some full rocks forward and back if you like, or side to side. And just to give some release to your low back, and I know this is like the worst thing a yoga teacher can do, but we're just gonna do a tiny bit of core before we come into Shavasana. So both arms lengthen, draw your legs in towards each other, and hold here for a moment. And then we're just gonna alternate legs, so dead bug, you know it, you love it. Left leg, right arm. And then back through center, hold to the other side. So maybe controversial, but I think that Ashley Simpson is one of the first women of emo. She's out back with Avril, maybe pop, but maybe emo. Keep going here. We'll go one last time. And then draw it back in. Feet flat down on the ground, just like before, maybe rocking just on the back of your pelvis a few times. And then maybe taking your feet wide, letting your knees knock in, or you can let them out, or you can extend long. Just find where Shavasana feels good. We're not staying here for a super long time. But start with a couple of long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Make it really loud. And then just soften into this. Allowing your breath to relax. Allowing the space between your forehead, your jaw, the fronts of your shoulders. All becoming soft. Maybe feeling that kind of natural shape starting to take place in your neck, in your back. Just allowing yourself to do less for a few moments, less controlling of your breath, less controlling of your mind. Noticing where your mind starts to wander. And if you find that negative self-talk starts coming into your mind, I want you to just tell it to fuck off. Let it float on by. Just reminding yourself that sometimes the first thought isn't the right one. So sometimes your brain will pop up with something, and that doesn't mean that it's the truth. Sometimes it's just your brain trying to like convince you to live in fear, to keep yourself a little bit more safe, or what your brain thinks is safe. One or two more long breaths here. And then as you're ready, extending your arms up long, lengthen your legs out for a full body stretch. And then slowly drawing yourself over onto one side and then up to seated. When you find yourself up to seated, just taking a moment to notice if you are feeling any differently now than you were at the start of our practice. Not just physically, but emotionally, energetically. On your next in breath, lengthen your arms up over your head, create a whole lot of length. Give everything a little shake. It is still the middle of the day, waking back up. Hands to your heart center. Just giving gratitude to your body. And may all that's within me reach out and touch what is in with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and week. I am back again with you on the 9th. We're doing pop punk covers, so it should be a good, fun time, high energy. So make sure you're here. And yeah, thank you again for coming. See you all later.